Turn that off. Pay attention to everything that's going on now. And we are going to check, see if the audio is freaking working. That says I'm live, but I'm looking. I'm not seeing it live yet. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I do have audio. So today I have freaking audio. I don't understand why YouTube's been so difficult. So I'm starting with audio. I'm not touching the phone. And we will see what happens. So I know they have this weird noise cancellation thing now, which is apparently not that hard to get around. I close everything. So it is not a pretty day, but we have to drive into the office. Hopefully everything's cool. I'm wondering if my car is loud and that's why. I don't know. What's going on, Daniel? So the last couple times, even before that, audio's been an issue. Like people are telling me I'm muted. I checked the video, there's no audio. I'm not muted. Now I'm wondering if this has something to do with that noise cancellation crap. Where when I'm driving, because of noise from the car, it's doing the noise cancellation. I doubt it very much. Because it just seems like I have no audio whatsoever. But I know I have audio when I started the live. And it's going to be apparent when I look at the video later. Make sure I turn the volume off on my other phone because I got to run the GPS. Nobody needs to know where I'm going. Maps. Even though I've been to this office 1,000 times, there's always a better route. Let's see which way the GPS. 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 So we're gonna hit the road. You can see the road. I can see chat now. YouTube's just been weird, and I don't live stream enough to really pick up on this stuff. But right now, their noise cancellation has been extremely aggravating. Because, like, I was watching someone that I know, and they were vacuuming, and you could not hear the vacuum. Like, it was silent. And to me, that was messing with my head. Because you know there should be noise. You're expecting to hear the vacuum, and there was no vacuum noise. Every time they came up to the phone, you could hear them, which was fine. But anything they did in the room, you could not hear. Now, some people claim YouTube is doing this because of copyrights. I don't see why they would. Directly. Maybe it's because they realize a lot of people cannot control that situation, especially with our friends in the Philippines where all their neighbors are doing karaoke. and it gets picked up. So I could understand them suppressing background noise, but dude, it's like a thunderstorm or something. It just calmed down a little while ago. I was actually debating of not even going to the office because it was raining so bad. But it calmed down, so yeah, about 50-minute drive. We'll see how the stream goes. We'll see how the audio goes. I probably should have did this on my other channel because technically I am testing, but if I ever get stuff straightened out, I'll deal with stuff on the other channel as soon as I get my unified router. I want that travel router. And when I go back to the Philippines, I want to test out the 5G internet because that might be the easiest, maybe not the best, but the easiest way for a foreigner to get internet in the Philippines because I was there last year. They came to the house, and as soon as they saw me and that I wasn't, I didn't have my retiree visa, I didn't have nothing at that time. They wouldn't set up internet. So I had to put in my friend's name. Plus, you have to pay year round when you're only there a month or two or whatever you're going to be there if you're not already retired and staying there. My understanding with their 5G internet with smart, and I think they have other ones. I have smart already, so you pretty much treat it like your phone. You load it, you have internet. You don't load it, you don't have it. Hello, hello, hello. If I don't reply right away, just remember this is live. I am driving. We'll see how things go. That's probably because of the noise suppression. YouTube's probably trying to suppress the noise from the car and driving, which is all around me, which is going to affect the audio. The whole purpose of the test is to listen to this afterwards. I always recommend every YouTuber, especially new YouTubers, watch your videos. If you're posting videos, watch your videos, your shorts. If you're doing live streams, watch your live streams. You need to see and hear what's going on. So I won't be able to do it when I'm at work, but after work I will be reviewing this video. Now I'm already hearing there's workarounds, which I can test later on, but I'll do that on my other channel. I'll probably do that in the weekend. I don't have a lot of time during the weekend. What's going on, Charles? Oh, it's improved. It's actually improved. bad shape, so I'm not going to take chances if the weather's pretty bad, but it's gotten better. Oil change is still about 7, 8 months overdue, so I should probably do that before the car blows up. See if this asshole's going to get in front of me because he's been tailgating for a minute. No, he's trying. Probably should have went in the right already, but whatever. I'll cut over later. I mean, at least it's not snowing. Yeah, got to go to the office today. Tuesdays are my normal office day, but originally we were going to switch it with Thursday because they want someone on site Thursday. But now I got to be there both days. It is what it is. I have a few things to check out. Very, very strange stuff going on with one or two people. Luckily, it's not company wide. So all depends on the financials, man. The budget's so screwed up right now. You know, people owe me money that are not paying me money, so I gotta, you know, deal with everything with my week, my bi-weekly paycheck, which I just got paid and I'm already practically broke. Between all the expenses that I have, credit cards, loans, house, all that, then I have my Philippines expenses, which could be dealt with if people would pay me what they owe me. But definitely pushing for, again, February. Same setup, February, before the end of February until like the after the first week of March for Bella's birthday again, if possible. I am going to look into the details of how our vacations work because I know businesses year to year is not January to February. So it's either June or July that we start our new fiscal year or whatever it's called. So I get vacation again. But I gotta figure out exactly how that works because if it's strictly based on vacation time I've earned, I might try to go out there during the burn months, not December, because that's just too much. September, October ish, and then again in February. We'll have to see how that plays out. I got to deal with all this budget shit first. Yeah, I think it's somewhere in July that like the company's shit. I was supposed to turn it. The company's year starts again or something. Businesses always confuse me, but I've noticed other staff taking multiple vacations, but it's not like they're taking 3, 4 months at once. Like 2, 3 weeks here, a few months, another 2, 3 weeks. So I'm wondering if it's just the company's a little lenient, or you could take multiple vacations as long as you have the vacation hours. I thought, and it could be, but I thought we were limited to 3 weeks per business year. If that's the case, then I might just have to save it for February. But I really want to get out there and test that 5G internet, man, because that's if it again. I tested 5G out here in the U.S. It's not for everybody. It depends on your location and a bunch of other things. But I'm very curious about this 5G internet in the Philippines because I think that would be very beneficial for me in my apartment as long as the speeds are hopefully triple digits. Right, and I notice I always acquire a lot of hours, but I normally, and it's only in the last few years, I normally wouldn't even take vacation. But in the last few years, I've been taking vacation, and we normally try to keep it at the 3 weeks now. But I got to see how that works in detail and what flexibilities there are. Because if the budget allows, since I can't do a 2 month plus, maybe 2 trips, depending on what's going on. You know. Yeah, because I do know that I earn. I'm gonna keep straight. I'm not gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep straight a little bit longer. It shouldn't matter. I do know that I'm like constantly earning hours. You know, I mean every like fiscal year normally. I don't know about now or how it's gonna work because of the fact of I have been taking vacation. But normally I would have so many hours that they don't carry over. We're only allowed to carry over X amount of hours. Oh, okay. So going straight was stupid. So they kind of recommend that we take our vacation time uh, if we have any hours left. But I mean, I already took my 3 weeks, so I can't imagine that I have too many hours. So yeah, apparently the streets are dead end, so I have to turn anyway. So 429 regular with ultimate wash. Oh, that's with a wash. What? 449 for regular, 519 for diesel. Okay. Oh, that's old. That's like a week old or 2 weeks old or something. Appendicitis. She already had surgery. She's already home. I haven't really been keeping up, but she's already home. She already had surgery. We're back on track. And Jiffy Lube is teasing me because I do need that oil change. That I do not know. Because again, I really haven't been keeping up. But she has been streaming. I did notice that, like on the YouTube feed, it shows that she was live. Like, 15 or whatever hours ago. So she is streaming. So I think she is still home. Yeah, little by little, I'm gonna probably spend less and less time on YouTube. I need to. I mean, it's already the middle of April. I've made some budget cuts that I'm not happy with since January, and I'm still jacked up budget wise. So either I'm still doing something wrong, or who knows what. So I got to start really focusing on not only work and getting stuff done, but getting things budgeted. I do have an app. I am seeing where almost every penny is going, not 100%. I even got to the point where I think the only thing I have left is Amazon Prime. I canceled every single subscription I ever had, if I'm not mistaken. Even software that I normally have, all gone. Oh, dude, if only. If only. Every time it seems like I'm gonna get a little step up, I get hit with something else. So right now I'm getting hit with the car insurance, which is every 6 months. The house is really hurting because of the fact of taxes have gone up, insurance has gone up. I need to sit down and start looking at other insurance companies and stuff, see if I can get a better quote. My insurance is more than double what it was a few years ago. And I don't know what they're claiming my house is worth, but I can't believe that my insurance is like double. I don't eat out as much like this whole freaking year. Actually, even longer. I think last year when I came back from the Philippines and I got sick and I had all the medical bills and I was dealing with all that, I stopped eating out. So I probably haven't really been eating out constantly for almost a year. Dude, sometimes I feel like that because, like what happened with me with my last car accident. I know my insurance company wasn't going to do anything, but they hit me. I had to pay $3,000, $4,000 to get the car running again, and they pretty much blew it off. Like their insurance did not do jack, but BS. Oh, we need you to provide these papers. Provide these papers. I filled out the papers. I emailed it to them. They kept asking me for the papers. I'm like, I emailed you the papers. I mean, it was a bunch of clusterfuck. And the car literally rammed into me and fucked up my whole front end. And I ended up having to pay for the whole thing. But when your house insurance and your taxes come out to be 2 to 3 times more than your actual mortgage, that's crazy to me. And my mortgage, I'm not gonna lie, my mortgage is super low. Even my interest rate, man, because when I bought, it was, I guess, the great time to buy. I mean, my interest rate on my home loan is 3.75%. People are like, oh, you should refinance and get 7 or 6. No, dude, I'm under 4% interest in my house. We had a little situation where things got effed up for a couple of years because I was unemployed. But we worked things out. But I'm still at 3.75, 3.75% interest. So my principal and interest payment is very low. But shit, the tax and insurance is so much that I'm not even joking. It's more than double that gets tacked on every fucking month. And that's for life, dude. Insurance and property tax, pretty much that's for life. So if you think about it, if let's say 80% of my mortgage is tax and insurance, even if I paid the house off, what good is that going to be? I mean, what would be the benefit of paying off the house if, you know, 80% of what I'm paying right now, I'm still going to be paying? And then every year or so, it's going to keep creeping up. And I should have been shopping around because my homeowner's insurance is next month. So I think I should have been shopping before the insurance is due. All that's in escrow. That's what's hurting me is the escrow because I'm gonna hit every month for that. But I did that whole finance the house, have them deal with the escrow, all that crap, which was fine when I first bought the house, but 10 years later, it's killing me. And it's my own fault for being financially illiterate. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Only now am I thinking of financial, stuff. What can I do now to try to help out? I I've done what every other person probably does: contribute what they think they can to the 401k. Obviously, you got no choice but to pay into Social Security. So besides Social Security and 401k, that's all I have. And that's the thing, Ted. If the house, like if your house is close to being paid off, and that's going to be substantial savings monthly for you. That's great. For me, when you look at my mortgage and you break it down into the principal and interest, taxes, and insurance, principal and interest together, I'm talking about together, is half or a third of what the other two are. And I was supposed to turn there. So even paying off the house, unless something happens with the taxes and the insurance, even if I had my house paid off, it ain't gonna make much of a difference. I mean, no joke. My principal and interest together is under $300. It's not even $300. Principal and interest together. So technically, my loan is not even $300 a month. But once you add on taxes and insurance, it's closer to 1,000. What's up, la la? You could tell I have not done a drive stream in a while because I keep missing my turns, which is fine. I normally don't get into the office until 8:30. GPS says 8:06. But yeah, I'm trying to check out this goofiness, Lala. I'm assuming you don't notice it with your channel because you use Ecamm. I think using third-party software bypasses YouTube's noise suppression that they're putting on everybody. But yeah, YouTube, if you're not aware, YouTube has been pushing this noise suppression on a lot of channels to, I guess, try to eliminate background noise. Yeah, because YouTube is I'll hear it later, but YouTube is most likely trying to reduce the car noise, the traffic noise, the surrounding noise. But because it's all around me, it's probably also affecting my audio. I've seen channels where the one person was vacuuming the house, you heard absolutely nothing. Like there was zero audio with them vacuuming the house. That was just blowing my mind. No. Yeah. Luckily I had the GPS running or I would have been completely lost right now. I am really messing up my route. We need to get back to a main road. Yes, yes. It should not affect recorded video because your audio is already set. This is only with the live streams. And I haven't really had much time to test it. Just like with me, it's been weirder. Last few times I tried to go live, I actually had no audio at all. So like my channel was just muted, but it wasn't by me. I didn't have the channel muted. So I'm thinking they still have some glitches on it. But yeah, anyone that goes live through YouTube, and I think that's the key word, through YouTube directly, YouTube is going to start modifying the audio. Now, is there any kind of settings to bypass this or anything? No clue. I haven't had a chance to really do any kind of research or anything. Um, I just thought people were having issues with their actual phone, you know. But yeah, you use Ecamm, you probably never noticed it. Plus, you got like the mixer and all that stuff. Um, I'm gonna try to do a live stream probably this weekend with just my computer, and then I'll try to do it with Ecamm. I think someone mentioned recently that they're using Prism or something for their live stream. That way they could put stuff on the screen. Her audio's fine. That's why I'm thinking if you use a third-party software, it's gonna bypass this thing that YouTube's doing right now. Even if it's in the house, any kind of background noise, it's been messing with. Like I said, there was this one channel where I know the person, she was cleaning the house. So when she was in front of the phone talking, you could hear her, but she would literally just walk 2 feet away, start vacuuming, nothing. You couldn't even hear the vacuum, which it was really messing with my head because your brain knows you should hear noise. No vacuum whatsoever. Like this noise suppression was working so good on her channel that I think it purposely tries to only pick up vocal, like voice, which is why I think people that play music, you will hear the music, but the music sounds bad. So that's where I think the noise cancellation's a little weird as well. It seems to be designed to pick up vocals. So it is trying to pick up the music, but at the same time, like the vocals, I think, of the music, but suppress the actual instrumental and everything. It is weird. It is just weird. She she wasn't talking when she was vacuuming, so it's kind of hard to judge. But like when she would stop vacuuming and walk up to the phone and then talk, you heard her perfectly fine. But when she would walk away from the phone and start cleaning, vacuuming, any noise that she did in the room, you couldn't hear. Now, I think when she did talk, when she was away from the phone, you could hear her, but it sounded weird. Like it sounded like she was very far away. So it seems like YouTube is trying to set it up to where kind of like the microphone. You got your condenser microphone and all that stuff. Where if you have a high quality microphone, you can only hear the audio that's in front of it. I got a feeling they're trying to set it up to where you have to be in front of the phone for it to pick up the audio very clearly. You would have to go directly live to YouTube without Ecamm, without anything. And I want to test it to see if this is only on mobile, like it's only the mobile app, or if it's also on the computer. Because it would be interesting if this is only with mobile YouTube, like people that do YouTube on their phones, like I'm doing right now. Doesn't matter because it's going through the YouTube software. So I've seen some people. I haven't seen it recently, but I know some people use microphones. But the microphone is still going through the YouTube app. So even with mics, I would say it's still going to affect it. I want to test with the computer straight to YouTube. I want to test with the computer using Ecamm and my mixer and microphone and all that. I want to test, not just mobile like I am now, but outside of mobile. But like right now that I'm not moving and it's quieter, I'm kind of curious to see if my audio is better. And then as soon as I start driving, my audio gets worse. Because now I'm driving. And I think YouTube is trying to compensate for the noise of the car and stuff like that. Yeah, and now that I'm going to be stopping, now that I'm stopped, the audio might improve a little bit. But as soon as I start driving, it's going to start, getting affected again. So I could see some scenarios where this technology would be good, but I think they should offer a way for you to turn it on and off because, especially with the Philippines, I remember some of the people that we watch where when they were in the boarding house, their neighbors would be doing karaoke. They can't control that music, and sometimes they will get copyright warnings because their neighbors were doing karaoke. It's very difficult in that scenario. But where you have YouTubers that are actually mobile, like me right now, there are a lot of channels with people that drive. This is not going to be good. You know, you got channels where people are traveling or they're out on the street. You know, if it starts compensating for all the external noise, unless it's going to be very crisp because you're right by the phone, and that's the thing. I know a lot of people that they're doing things. They walk away from the phone. They're still in camera shot, but they walk away from the phone. That is not going to be good for those type of YouTubers. And mostly the ones that I see that do that would be like a lot of the Filipinos, the channels where you got people that do like workout videos, workout streams, that kind of thing. For their audio, they're using microphones, but I got a feeling, and I could probably do that. I should have my Rode Wireless Goes. I could test that out also with my microphones, but I'm almost positive YouTube would mess with it. Sounds like an episode of Cops. Oh, wait until I start doing the motorcycle rides. I'm trying to work that in the budget, man. I got to renew my license this year. If I could get my motorcycle training in before I have to renew my license, that'll be even better. And because my car is always giving issues, I mean, I don't like the fact that I got a single car garage. Maybe if I clean it out, because it's a little bigger than a. I don't know. I might get oh no, I can't afford no hog. So a larger scooter, not them little moped things. There's no way. I want to do Christmas, but at the same time, I want to make sure I go to my goddaughter's birthday, which is March. And since I can't do more than 3 weeks, I need to find out if I can do more than one trip. Like right now in my head, if I could if I could work out the budget, work it out with work and everything, that it's okay, I'm thinking maybe 2 or 3 weeks around September, October. December would be too hard because it's going into the new year already. But if I could do like September, October, at least that's like the Christmas season. She's a YouTube friend of mine um, in the Philippines. We've known each other for a few years. And then that way I could go like September, October, and then I could also go February, March. I'm trying to see if that February, March could be a little bit flexible, but I got some friends that have like birthdays and my goddaughter's birthday. But it also depends on the budget because the budget's really messed up right now. I'm still paying for this last trip. Lala. She has her YouTube channel, which is the one you're seeing now. She's very involved in the crafting community. She does a lot of videos, live streams around crafting. Uh, she does group crafting where she invites some of her friends into her channel, stuff like that. I would post her channel, but I'm driving. But at the same time, everybody's name is their channel, so everybody's pretty much advertising themselves right now. Actually, Lala was the one that first invited me to the Philippines, and I stayed with her and her family. And we went to Boracay. She had an event in Boracay that I try to help her uh, with the tech because it was a hybrid type event where you had people um, live with us, like in person. You had people online. So, it's a lot easier now with the software that it's advanced so much. But back then, we were trying to bring, like Zoom into YouTube, into Ecamm. I mean, we're using multiple computers, mixers. It was interesting, to say the least. But the software is advanced so much where I think you could probably do everything in the software now. But I have to plan my trips a little bit better because I do want to stop in Manila. I do want to, visit you and the family and stuff, maybe a few days. Then head to Cebu, spend, some time in Cebu. I was hoping to have more than 3 weeks. So much has changed with all my plans that it just makes everything a lot harder. But I could probably still work some things out with my job. But in order to stay longer than 3 weeks, I'll have to actually work from the Philippines, which internet is the biggest issue right now because of the one, they remodeled the apartment, got rid of the windows, and dropped my internet cable out the window. So I haven't had internet in the Philippines for months. That's one of the reasons why I want to look into that. I don't know if you heard about this, Lala. Apparently, Smart and a few other companies now have 5G home internet. So basically, you get the box. It's like your cell phone. You pay for a load. You got internet for a day, 2 days, a month, whatever you pay. For your load on the router. It's not a phone. It's an actual router. And then you got internet. So next trip out there, I want to get the 5G home router from Smart. The whole drive's about 50 minutes. I got maybe 15 minutes left, so I've been probably like 35 minutes driving, maybe. I have to go into one of the offices today. Today's my office day. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. You probably got like Globe Home Internet, 5G. You got that PLDT or whatever it's called. You have Smart with theirs. Since I already have Smart on my Philippine phone, it might be easier for me just to deal with Smart. But because I want to make sure I don't have any issues, like go into a Smart store at one of the malls and try to just buy it and have them turn it on and everything right there. The problem with Starlink, other than it being double or triple the price monthly, is you have to keep it on. So even if you put it on their like standby mode, that's $5 a month, and you're not even using it. But it has to be outside. So I have to for an apartment, it doesn't work because you have to figure out a way of mounting it outside, and then you would have to partner it with like maybe their router to get the signal in the house, which I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about before my next trip. There's three things I want to do for my next trip. One, I want to get my motorcycle license and practice because when I go back to the Philippines, I might rent a bike for the like 2 weeks or whatever, just to get around that area. I want to test the 5G router and I want to test the Starlink again, but I might need to get the Starlink router to pair with it and see how that works. But Starlink is pricey. And that's the other thing. As soon as I get a chance to actually build a house, if I have the Starlink, if I have, let's say, the Smart 5G, that's already two different internets. You know, if where I build the house, I could run that fiber line, that's three. You know, in my situation, internet's critical. So not only am I going to want to build a house with solar, I'm going to want a minimum of two internet providers, whether it's the Starlink and the 5G and fiber. You got to have that backup, man. Yeah, I had fiber, dude. I was paying like $22 a month for fiber internet. It was like 300 up and down, more or less. The only time you had an issue, obviously, were with the brownouts, which is why I need to have either solar or some type of backup for power. But I had no, everyone complains the internet's not that great, blah. I had zero issues with internet in my apartment Except, obviously, if there's a brownout, I had no power. So, I mean, I think I was paying 1,500 pesos, which is, I think, maybe $25, like $25 a month. My, I would be happy with that right now here in the U.S. because I'm paying almost $170 a month for internet, which I don't even need internet that fast. I'm just scared to change it because they're gonna mess something up. But I might have to actually call Comcast and be like, look, I do not need a 2 gigabit line. We could drop this down to like 1 gig or 700 meg or something. I don't need no 2 gigabit line. But we need to try to bring this down because, $170, pretty much $170 a month for internet, and that's a lot. That's crazy. Oh yeah, yeah. Depending on your package and everything, I think what did I have for? I think I had Globe or something for the house internet. But see, that's the other thing. As a foreigner, they wouldn't even set up the internet for me. So I had to put the internet under my friend's name. With the smart home 5G internet, that's set up more like a cell phone. So if we could buy a cell phone and we could load it, we should be able to get the 5G internet and load it. So that bypasses the whole issue of you're a foreigner, we can't set up your internet, blah, blah, blah. And here's the thing, Ted, and I tried to explain this to them before. None of them test the internet. None of them test the Wi-Fi. None of them do any like pre-live stream anything. So in their situation, I would be running a few tests. I would use my phone, connect to the router, do a speed test, look at those numbers, look at how well my connection is. That would be like the first thing. Then if there's any issues, restart the router. I guarantee you, they've never unplugged that router and plugged it back in unless we tell them to. Because whenever they get these brownouts or power failures, sometimes that messes with the routers. You have to unplug that puppy. Unplug it, wait a few seconds, plug it back in, let it cycle through. You know, MG's, I really haven't looked at it, but she's got like maybe a studio. It shouldn't be as big as an issue as like the other house where you got the. Lala knows this. Lala knows this. Lala's one of the only ones that I think I spent some time modifying her internet and her Wi-Fi. She actually has Wi-Fi outside her house now. What do you call that? The outside kitchen, the dirty kitchen. She has. Oh, I gotta make sure I make my turns. I believe you have wired in Wi-Fi all through the house now. Even in that like house in the back, that thing you have in the back where I was staying, I put that little box there for I could jump the Wi-Fi over there. I mean, I couldn't spend that much time in Leica's house, but I gave them enough equipment to really increase and maximize some of their connection. But they don't. understand it. They don't know how to utilize it. Unless I could, like I did with Lala, unless I could install it and it's just done, it works. They're not gonna mess with it. Actually, I think in the last live stream I saw of Leica's, it was all in a box. Like they just unplugged it, threw it in the box. It's like $700 worth of network equipment. They just threw it in the box. And I mean, if I remember correctly, Lala, we rewired, like we rerouted the wires. That way they were going around the walls and not, like in the middle of the floor. Um, and your setup in your office is all wired, I believe. I think we even ran a wire to your sister's room. You still have the wireless, the Wi-Fi. You got, I think you said, a signal in the dirty kitchen outside. We have, Wi-Fi going into the unit outside your house. I mean, and the thing is, like for me, I'm aware of the internet, the importance of the internet to me, and the issues that you could have, especially with a house in the Philippines made out of hollow block. So if I'm gonna have a house built, one of the things I'm gonna stress with the architect is I want it wired, like pre-wired for internet. I'm gonna want it pre-wired for security cameras and all that. That way it's built into the house. You just gotta, finish up the wire, plug in your Wi-Fi access point, plug in your camera, plug everything in, power it up, you're done. But no one's gonna think of that. The fact that Lycandom had that house built from scratch, if they would have planned for a multi-room Wi-Fi setup, they would have had the cables already ran for every room. And that's the trick when you're dealing with multiple rooms in the Philippines because of their construction. You're going to want a Wi-Fi wired. Let me stress this: wired Wi-Fi access point in practically every room. The only way I would say not every room is if the room is like an open floor plan. If you have like the front room slash living room, all open area with your kitchen and stuff, then you only need one for that entire room. But as soon as there's a separate one door, like the bedrooms, their exercise room, you want a wired access point in that room. Yes, it's going to be very expensive. All I use is Unified. The stuff that I gave them is Unified. I gave them like 4 pieces of equipment. Those 4 pieces are like $700 worth of technology. That it's in a box now. They're not even using none of it. It's in a box. PoE router, security camera, access point, unified key because they didn't need a router. I'm at the office now. I should be doing this. That way, people don't need to know our clients. Because just to let you know, I do not work for this company. This company is one of my company's clients. So, yeah. So I'm at the office now, so I gotta run. I'll check out this video later. I appreciate everybody coming in and taking a visit, a hello, all that stuff. How are you running electrical outlets on concrete walls during construction? They build from the ground up. So before you put the roof and all that stuff, you could run and their wiring is not, I think, hard pipe. It's more of a flexible, not not like BX or whatever you call it. I think theirs is more of like a flexible cable type, and they drop it, break a hole in the block, pull it through, and then they cement around it. It's interesting. It's interesting. I would love to see a build from start to finish, honestly. But I have to work. I have to run. So later, everybody, take care. Peace.